Eagle Man 225 coming at you with another video. It's Eagle Man 225 coming at you with another video.
This is crazy. Quez Watkins had 395 yards. And I am playing online, people. That is crazy. 60.
Hey, yo, it's Eagle Man 225 coming at you with a video. I ain't made no videos because I'm not the type to just, I ain't jump off the bandwagon, but I wasn't feeling too good about the season. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to chill for right now, man. I'm going to chill, and then I didn't really I got kind of discouraged because, I ain't really got no viewers. Like, my kids view me. I got a couple friends that view me, but you know what? It is what it is. You got to just keep grinding hard. It's what one of my partners told me the other day. He called me. He was like, hey, bro, I don't see you don't make no more videos. And it kind of inspired me to come and just don't worry about all that. It's going to come as long as I put in the work, And so that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to talk about this off season for a minute. What do we need, right? What do we need? We need a lot. We need tight ends. We need linebackers. We need linemen. We need better defensive linemen per se. I'm going to say per se, right? Because we was dealing with Derek Barnett most of the year, right? So Taron Jackson and even Milton Williams, who we drafted as a piece that can kind of float on the line, they really didn't get in for whatever reason. I don't know why Derek Barnett got to play so much. We should have put those guys in to see if we actually needed two draft guys because Taron Jackson showed flashes in that last game. So did Milton Williams. You know what I mean? Like they had, little spots and little plays where they was getting pressure. Where they look like, hey, look, this looked like this was a good pick. So we definitely need more rotational pieces though. We definitely gonna need that. And I'm about to try to address that in a minute. Now, another thing, people, I'm seeing people pick, and all of their first round picks is cornerback. And I'm not saying I wouldn't pick a cornerback. It's just depending on what cornerback is there. If Sauce or Stingley ain't there, I'm not picking a cornerback. That's personally my deal on it. I'm not picking a cornerback. I'm gonna pick a defensive back, but it won't be a cornerback because really, which one do you need more, safety or cornerback? You need a safety because really you don't have no athletic safeties on the roster. We didn't have one last year, and I think that's what kind of killed us in the past game last year is because we don't have athletic safeties. We got guys, we got good, stand-up guys, but not really no athletic guys. You know what I mean? Like, McLeod was a good player. Like, he was good in tackling, and he was good in coverage. But, man, when you got that difference maker at safety and you got him at cornerback, it makes a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got more like of a hybrid defense, which I think Gannon is going to run. And then that's what I'm going to talk about on the line as well in just a minute. So, me personally, if it was me, I know we need offensive linemen because you got Jason Kelce. He's always thinking about retirement. You know what I mean? Like for the last 3 years, he's kind of wanting to, oh, well, do I want to retire or not? Which is cool. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to play forever. So, you trying to do your best to, maybe win another ring or you're not just quite ready to get a game up yet, whatever the reason may be. I would say, me personally, I would have to go defense, especially those first 3 picks. Now, with the first 3 picks, I'm trading 1 or even possibly 2 of those picks. Now, when I say I'm trading 2, I'm not trading necessarily for the future because I don't really think you have to trade back to try to secure the future. Let's worry about now. You know what I mean? Let's try to win now. Let's not try to say, oh, let's not write a guy off. You know what I'm saying? Like, give a dog enough rope to hang himself. You know what I mean? So, if Jalen is as bad as people saying he's gonna be, then you ain't gonna have to worry about needing 3 picks to trade up. You know, you'll be right there. You'll already be there. So, which I don't think that's gonna be the case. So me personally, I would go after I just said we might not need defensive ends. I don't know if I would go with Ojabayo because I mean he can rush the passer. You know what I mean? But like, can he cover? Because that's the kind of defense I think Jonathan Gannon is wanting to run here. He's wanting to disguise guys. He's wanting to drop defensive ends back, you know, cover the screen, you know, or follow this guy if he goes to the screen, cover the middle of the field, you know, basically use them as linebackers, big linebackers, which I'm not opposed of. You know what I mean? Because then it kind of gives you more balance because we already got these big guys, right? Like we got Taron Jackson. That guy's like probably over 270. You know what I mean? And he's playing defensive end. And then we got Mike, you know, we got Williams. And then we got, Milton Williams. I said Mike, but Williams. And then we got Talupu or Tutupu, whatever. I'm sorry if I'm getting the name wrong, but he's from USC. Those guys that can stuff the run and get to the quarterback. But, you know, with these other guys, you could kind of, you know, when you put them in, you could do different things. Like these are the guys you want to look for. You don't want to just look for guys that could just always just pass just rush the passer. You know what I mean? You need other guys too. You need talented guys. You know what I mean? That's what you say when you say talented guys is that as more than a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's where we headed. You know what I'm saying, with this defense that we're gonna have. So me personally, I would go with the most popular pick, Devin Lloyd or the other linebacker from Georgia. That's where I'm going first. Now, this is the thing. I'm taking 16. If somebody wants to trade back after I take Devin Lloyd at 15, if somebody wants to trade up, not trade back. If somebody wants to trade up, I'm trading back. And when I say trade back, I'm trading back like you giving me your first two. Like I'll trade back with like the Packers or with Tampa, you know, and you can have 16, and then to jump up 10 spots, yeah, you're gonna have to at least give me your second next year, and you're gonna have to give me your second this year. You know, you're gonna have to do that, and you might have to lay around there and give me a fourth, and then I might return you back with like a fifth or a sixth. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have to move. I feel like if you want this draft to go good and you want even to add even more talent next year, you're gonna have to trade some of your picks to get higher picks. You know what I mean? That's nobody's talking. I haven't heard anyone say that yet, but that's what I would do if I was in that predicament. I would trade some of my stuff for next year to trade up for higher picks next year. And I'm talking about getting back in the second and third. Like I'll trade a fourth to get to the second. You know what I mean? I give you a fourth for a second. I give you a fifth for a third. You know what I mean? So to give you something back in return, give me something. And then like when you give me that second too, I might take a 6 or 7 from you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Howie's gonna capitalize in. Seems like is in these later rounds. You know what I'm saying? 6 and 7 round is where his bread and butter is for some reason. I don't know why, but give him more bread and butter. If that's what the case is. Let me see. After Devin Lloyd, I was saying, then I would go safety, right? I would go safety, and I would pick either Brisker or Kine, one of them two. All right. Then with the last round pick in the later rounds, I'm going Zion. Even though he's projected to go in the second round, I'm picking Zion out of Boston College. You know what I mean? We gonna need a big boy up there that can plow the way for either Jalen or whatever running backs we're gonna have next year. Because truly and honestly, I don't know if we keeping Sanders or not. Sanders is in his last year. I think it's more profitable to I'm not gonna say trade him, because really I wouldn't trade him. I would sign him, and then really I would use Gainwell in more of like a Boston Scott role. You know what I'm saying? I think Boston Scott is gone. Gainwell is gonna be taking over that spot next year. You know, but then you're gonna need some more running backs. You know what I mean? I don't know what Huntley's contract is looking like. But anyway, let me go back to the second round, right? Now, if I didn't trade it back and I didn't got a second round, right? I didn't got a first and maybe a second or early or a third or something like that, right? Me personally, I would in the second round it's gonna be like where it's gonna be hard at, because like in that spot you probably gonna have some quarterbacks that didn't drop. You gonna have some tight ends, a bunch of tight ends sitting there, which is what we need. And then you gonna have maybe like a couple linebackers. And then I was watching Brunson the other day, and he did make a point about this Emerson cat from Mississippi State, right? So you're gonna have all them cats sitting there, and then you're gonna have a linebacker sitting there from Penn State, right? Me personally, I'm going Sam Williams right there. I'm going Sam Williams or the cat from really I might even go with the cat from South Carolina, Ignabor, because they both can play linebacker. If it's a way that I can trade back with Atlanta, right, and maybe trade back 16 and get 48 and I think 58 or something like that, or 43 and 58. It's something that they have. They got like 2 second round picks, right? And then I can talk them into giving me a pick for next year. It don't necessarily got to be it could be another second or a third. It don't matter. But if I can get that back, then I'm trading it, and then I'm getting Ignabor and Sam Williams right there. I'm getting both of them cats, because that shows up on both sides when Sweat needs a rest, and I can put those two ends, and that'll really be like my hybrid defense, man. I can put them cats in on third down, or maybe third and long. You know what I mean? And I could drop them cats back. I ain't got to worry about Jackson running on me. Them guys can chase him down. I ain't got to worry about no quarterback running for no first down. You're going to still have either Cox in the middle, or you're going to trade Cox and get a defensive tackle. In the draft this year, I wouldn't be opposed to that either. You know what I'm saying? If you go like for Jordan Davis, or if Neal is there, you got to get Neal. If Neal didn't fail, you got to get him. So that's what I'm doing there. Now, in the third round, I think they're still going to have some good cornerbacks. Cornerbacks good enough to be in our system. You know what I mean? Maddox was I think Maddox was like a 5th round pick. So I think we can go fourth in the third round, especially if we didn't trade it back and got more picks in the third round. I don't know, man. That's going to be tricky too, because you're going to have a lot of tight ends. And then if you're not signing Jordan Howard back, this is a time you can get a running back. This is another time where you can, me personally, I want to talk about center real quick. Center, if we're going to replace or get somebody to be behind Jason Kelce, I think everybody's looking at this the wrong way. They keep looking at centers. Like, you looking at centers, like you looking at, like, it's like Linderbaum, and then, you know what I'm saying, then it's Alec Lindstrom, and then it's like a long list of people. And it is a list. It is a person on that list of center I would also draft. But at this point, at the third round pick, this is kind of a reach. This is why I think, though, you could take your third, trade back, get some more 4th round and a 5th round pick, or another 5th round pick, and trade back in the third a little bit down, and you can get Cade Mays. But a lot of people would say that'd be reaching, but I don't think it's reaching for us, because Cade Mays is a Philadelphia Eagle type player. He could play all over the line. He just doesn't. He's listed as a guard, just like Landon Dickerson, but he's took a lot of snaps at center. The dude is big. I think he's like 6'5", 315, 320 pounds. You got a big guy, and he can move. So, you know what I'm saying? You got a mauler at center. You know what I'm saying? A guy that's going to be able to hold his own. And if other guys get hurt, you got another guy that can step in, because we do, it's very important that we do get some guards. You know what I mean? But I think we got to get more guards that can move around. You know what I mean? And if you got 2 guards that could both play center, and then you could just move Isaac Samalu over, really, your whole center thing is done with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really have no questions at center. You just need a guy that can back him up, and you're not drafting a backup. center in the third round. You're not doing that. Like that's more like going back to Jason Kelsey type stuff. You wait until the 6th and 7th round to trade them, and we only got 1 7th round. So, I mean, we only got 1 6th round. You know what I mean? So I think that's out the question, even trying to get a center this early. If anything, I'm gonna get a lineman that can play center, but also can play guard. You know what I'm saying? That has the guard size, because your guards can move. So, you know what I'm saying? When you're drafting a guard at that position that can play center, you're drafting a guy that can move. It's not like you're drafting like a big tackle that's, you know what I'm saying, that has to, I ain't gonna say plant his feet, but just, he moves like, he don't move like a guard. You know what I'm saying? Guards, they do a lot of pulling. They up the field just like sometimes the center is. So that's what I would do. I would draft Cade Mays, and then really, you know what I'm saying, now that gives you 3 people that can play center on the team, with Isaac Samalu, Landon Dickerson, and him and Cade Mays as well. And then I would just draft the cat from Texas Tech. He's 6'6" and like 310, 6'5", 6'6", 310, and he can move also. Big guy, long arms, so I would draft him out of Texas Tech, me personally, in the later rounds. What else? 4th round. Man, I think this is where you got to get a receiver, another receiver. And to me, it doesn't matter who you get unless you get somebody like, if we get Chark, I don't think you have to draft you don't have to draft a receiver this early. But if we don't get Chark and we get like just some other receiver, or Mike Williams, if we get Mike Williams or Chark, you don't have to draft this early. But if you get like Robinson, you know what I mean, I think you still got to get a big guy, because you still don't have a big possession receiver, and I think that's what we lack, is like a big body guy. We need a guy that plays on that style. Arcega-Whiteside is supposed to be that guy, but he hasn't been. So we need to go get a guy like that. And it's a lot of guys, like you got Alec Pierce, he might fall. I don't think the cat from Pink, what's his name? It's not Pinkston. I don't know why I said Tyler Pinkston, but the cat from Georgia, I forget his name, Pickens, I think. He's not gonna be there. And who else ain't gonna be there? The cat from Montana probably not gonna be there in the 4th. But if those guys do drop, you get them. And there's another cat too from what school he went to? Wasn't Baylor. What's the school I'm thinking of? Clemson, the Clemson receiver. I like him as well. He's a big guy, big body guy. They got a couple big guys that you could probably grab in the 4th round. 3rd and 4th round is probably like a sweet spot for like receivers. Because you got all your potential starters gone already, and nobody's really, like, I ain't gonna say reaching, like they just getting guys that they can plug and play, So, and then sometimes you find some pretty good talent in that area. So, me personally, that's what I would do. And then the policy would be cornerbacks and more safeties there. Nobody's talking about this other safety though. He's 6'4" as well. I think he's out of a small school out of Miami. I think it's Weatherford or something like that. But it's Sterling Weatherford. I'm going to do a mock draft, and I'm going to put it up later, and then we'll talk about some of these players that might be there or might not be there. You know what I'm saying? I might do 2 or 3 mock drafts, and then I'll go over them. And I'll probably do one every week, you know what I'm saying, on Sunday, and just put them up, with players that might be there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm about to work on right now. But I'm going to go ahead and drop this video. Y'all like, subscribe.